I'm sitting here in front of the World Trade Center where one of the most horrific things that happened in recent times where the planes crashed into the buildings. But we're around the corner from Wall Street. This is one of the wealthiest cities in the world. You know, some of the a lot of billionaires live here dealing with Wall Street. So the stock exchange, New York Stock Exchange, you know, nice when they ring the bell that every day, Monday through Friday. But I always ask people, you got a lot of people who say that they invest in the stock market. You know, I ask people what kind of investments do they make. And a lot of them say they invested in the stock market. And it's like, what is the stock market? The stock market is a bunch of businesses that come together and went public, and people from all around the world invest their money into someone else's businesses. But if you want to change our situation as a people, instead of investing in other people's businesses, why not invest in our own businesses? You know, Tiffany, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all those big corporations, they didn't start off wealthy. They all started small somewhere, you know, but over the years with so many people investing in them, buying their stock, of course they've grown to be multi-billion-dollar companies, you know? So just think about it. If 10% of the people, of our people invested in most of our businesses, we could do the same things. We'd be billion-dollar companies, trillion-dollar companies, you know? So that's what I tell people all the time. Why are you investing in someone else's business that you never own and barely getting pennies out of? It's so much easier to invest in your own. A lot of people tend to think that's so difficult that, you know, black business owners will give them a hard time, or they're not loyal, they're not, you know, what do they say? They don't have good customer service. But, you know, I think that's just a certain group talking about that, spreading those rumors, because I go off of personal experience, you know. I directly helped 100 plus people start businesses and indirectly help thousands. So what if I was to own the percentage of all the people that I helped to invest in? What if I owned a percentage of all the businesses I helped to start? In the old days, we would just loan people money. You know, hey, go ahead and do what you gotta do. Start your business, do what you gotta do. And they would turn around and give that money back. But over time, now all of a sudden people are asking for what's their return on investment. If I'm not gonna get a return back, I'm not gonna loan you any money. So that's what really held the country back. That's what really held our people back. You know, ain't nothing wrong with making a return, but at the same time, we gotta invest in our community. We'll give up millions and millions of dollars to help people go to college, to not find a job or to barely find a job. You know, it's time to change our practices of what we choose to invest our money in. You know, it's so much simpler. I look at when I was in the lowrider industry, so many people came home and I turned around and helped them buy tow trucks. You know, $1,500 here, $5,000 there. I helped them start businesses. I helped them start all type of businesses. And I look at them years later, they're very successful. But I think about just the small investments that they had. Most of them starting off with $500, less than $5,000 actually. Let's wrap it up and say less than $5,000. I've seen a lot of $1 million businesses get started. So I can just imagine, what if you had thousands of people all around the world investing in that tow truck company, investing in that paint shop. We'd own tow truck companies all around the world. We'd own paint shops all around the world. We'd own restaurants all around the world right now with no problem. It's very simple. All we have to do is set it up. All we have to do is set it up, and that's what type of things that I do. You know, Wall Street didn't just happen to grow. It didn't just wake up one morning and there was Wall Street. It was created. Someone had a master plan and put that together. Let's get everybody to invest in us so that we can grow our businesses and create jobs. And that's exactly what they did. So that's why you look at some people are eating better than a lot of other people are eating. You know, you come down here to Wall Street, this is a very lucrative district, you know, very lucrative city, meaning you got people who are paying $8,000 a month rent to rent here, not to own, but to rent here. Because a lot of people want to live in this area because Wall Street, the stock markets. You know, it's just a lot of money and a lot of things going on that we really have to think about in our everyday investments. So I just wanted to talk about that and let people see that it's a very simple way to turn things around. All they have to do is just start investing money into each other, investing money into people's ideas. Whenever someone says, I have an idea, whether I'm a filmmaker. You know, if you have a young person that says, I want to be a filmmaker and buy me a camera and some film equipment for about $1,000. And then you have another young person that says, well, I don't know what I want to do, but I think I'll go to college because everybody else is going to college. You don't know what you want to do, but you want to go and pick up a bill because your mom don't qualify for FAFSA. You don't qualify for FAFSA, so you want your parents to pay for you to go to school, or you want your children to pay for you. You're going to pay to put your children in school, and they don't know what they want to do, and you don't know what you want them to do. That's a lot of money. But yet, I personally would rather invest in that young man that says, hey, I want to be a filmmaker, give me $1,000 to buy a camera and some green screens, etc. And I'm gonna go start making movies. That's the kind of person I'd rather invest in, because that guy will end up being a multi-millionaire, if not a billionaire, with the right guidance and help, and put his movies and documentaries in the right places, or his TV show in the right place, or her TV show in the right places, you know? Versus that college student going to school and coming home to find out that there's no jobs in that area that he took those classes in, or they're not hiring in the city that he lives in, or the state that he lives in, so he may have to move away to make less money. Wherever that job is that's hiring is in a different state, and they're paying less money because that state charges less money to live there. So it's just a lot of different things that we have to do to restructure where we are now.